So here we go, family. Let's go and get this thing popping off. This thing popping off. Great to see you. Let me send out the black signal. Gonna launch the black signal, see if it reaches the people in a timely manner. Let's play some theme music. And we'll pull up the line so that we can start the lines are open. Welcome to the place where your hustle builds muscle within the congregation of the mighty. This is Ujamaa Journey Media. Come on, girl, say it louder. That's right. Thank you. Don't keep it down. Kids ain't sleep yet. This is a Heart of a Simple production, and right now we are on Tribal Quotes. And I want to welcome you. And this is the Heart of a Simple production.
Where we strive to love your old paradigm.
You heard it right here on the journey. Alright, family, of course you know tonight is travel quotes, and we have some quotes, but let's just look at a little news, just a little news, have a little conversation. I think it might be healthy for some of y'all to get some of this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going and I'm gonna bring it to you like the journey, like no one else can. The journey will do it. Nobody else want to bring it to you, but the journey will bring it to you, right? So here we go. All right. So right now, we got a lot of people. Brother Adil. Nobody gonna pay reparations. They not gonna pay no reparations. Brother Adil, you need to just stop it. Stop it. You making it hard on us. Talking about reparations, people getting uncomfortable. And I told y'all, family, listen, it's time for us to walk in room and for people to start feeling uncomfortable. I'm trying to let you know because it's a debt that's old. It's a debt that's old, and we got to beat on the doors because for us to not to beat on the doors is for us to portray not only our ancestors, but to portray the future generations. Now, so I looked up something because I kept hearing reparations being paid in America. I gotta drink some water on this shit. Reparations were paid. Yes, they were. And I think the year was around 1862. 1862, reparations were paid. I drink some of that good old water because I want to talk about the time the reparations were paid. I want to talk about it loud and clear. I want y'all to hear about the reparations of 1862. I know some of you don't know about it, but I know some of those that are listeners of the journey. They're well studied. They know about these reparations, but maybe they don't. Maybe they don't, Brother Hatem. Maybe they don't know about these reparations. Reparations was paid in 1862. And guess who got them? Go ahead, take a guess. Go on, take a guess. Go on, take. People weren't talking about, what would they think about us? Oh, it's not fair to all American citizens. Oh, it's not fair to the new immigrants. Oh, no. Sister writer and cultural critic Ta-Nehisi Coates made his compelling case for reparations in the Atlantic. It has been a hot-button topic, and the questions have come fast and furious. This is from News 1, by the way. This is an old one. I looked it up because I take time to do stuff like that because I believe that my family we need to be up on this, right? We need to know about it, right? What is reparations? What should it look like? How has slavery and subsequent systems of oppression had a continuing impact on black Americans? DOS. ADOS. Right? Descendants of slaves. Thought I would never say that shit. It's just rolling off my tongue now. Will the United States ever pay reparations for its roles in what amounts to domestic terrorism against African Americans? Yes, dear.
Nothing.
Yes, Sasha. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. It's real life here at Geometry Journey. Will the United States ever pay reparations for its role in what amounts to domestic terrorism against African Americans? The truth is, the government has already paid reparations to slave owners. Yes. Yes, all of y'all that's talking about, we gotta be fair to everybody. It's not fair that we make all the taxpayers pay reparation, Brother High Tim. That was a different time. That was a long time ago. It don't affect us. But hey, if you look at like I said, if at Cornell break it down, Tone Talks break it down, where they showing you how it still affects, and most of us don't even need the goddamn numbers to know. We don't even need the numbers. Some of us don't even need to know the numbers to know that we're not living the American life. And the reason why we're not really able to live and fully immerse ourselves in the American life. There's very few things that we should actually be paying for. There is an amount of wealth that is ours. And y'all like, well, they can't pay it all, Brother. How damn? They found a way to play them slave owners. Now, hold on. We're going to read into it a little bit, but I just want y'all to think about some of the foolishness that we say. See, because everybody want to do this nice guy politics shit. Right? No. Because let's look at why these reparations were given, right? According to the National Archives and Record Administration, the District of Columbia Emancipation Act paved the way to compensate slave owners for their loyalty to the Union. So in order to hold the Union together, right, they had to do something, right? And for the loss of income incurred by freeing slaves on April 16th, 1862, President Abraham, I signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Lincoln signed a bill ending slavery in the District of Columbia. Passage of this law came 8.5 months before the President Lincoln issued his Emancipation Proclamation. The act brought to a conclusion decades of agitation aimed at ending what anti-slavery advocates called the national shame of slavery in the nation's capital. It provided for immediate emancipation, compensation to former owners who were loyal to the Union of up to $300 for each free slave, voluntary colonization of former slaves to locations, voluntary colonization of former slaves to locations outside the United States, and payments of up to $100 for each person choosing immigration. So now they paid them $300. They got to stay. And if you wanted any money, you had to get the fuck out, and they gave you $100. Over the next 9 months, the Board of Commissioners appointed to administer the act approved 930 petitions, completely or in part, for former owners for the freedom of 2,989 former slaves. In exclusive comprehensive interview with News One, United States Representative Keith Ellison addressed reparations and the argument that the United States is legally liable to repay African Americans for slavery and its children, Reconstruction, Jim and Jane Crow, and the structural systematic racial inequality of the civil rights and Reagan eras. I say we need to study this stuff so we can dig into it and learn more about it. I mean, if 4 generations ago your great-great-grandmother was in an accident through no fault of her own that she didn't get compensated for, can you sue for that today? The law would say no because there's a statute of limitations on it. But if someone killed your loved one, can you sue for that? Well, yes, you possibly could, because the statute of limitation on that is quite a bit longer, if there is one. But before people start screaming for money saying, oh, look at what you did, we need to understand slavery more. They sold slaves on the National Mall. Presidents and leaders were afraid that when foreign dignitaries visited, they would see that and be embarrassed. There's documented evidence of that fact that I just stated. We were held in slavery longer than we've been free. I need y'all to keep that in mind. There are whole generations who lived their whole lives, had kids, and died. Those kids lived their whole lives in slavery, had kids, and died. Their kids lived their whole lives in slavery and died again. In slavery, there have only been about 4 generations after slavery, and we have to look at white society as well. How these institutions of oppression made good, decent human beings that God created to cruel despots. It supported patriarchy and sexism. It created this myth around white womanhood. These people became cruel and mean in order to preserve this institution. Everyone was affected. We have to go through the work to figure out what reparation is. That's what I'm arguing for. I think it would be an important journey for our nation. Bottom line, we're all Americans today, but you can't heal a dirty wound. You have to clean it out first. That was published. You can look it up. You know, of course, we got to do more research. Not just for the sake of reparations, but some of y'all need to read up on it, because this is one of the major issues that's going to be popping up. You're going to hear a lot of people speaking about taking our struggle very seriously. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of time, like I said, man, we got these, oh, this was posted on May 31st, 2014. So we got to understand that before this, Ta-Nehisi Coates had published his case for reparations, which is something also we gonna dip in and start going through, because family, how can I put it? By us denying this and not bringing it to the forefront to have discussion about it, we are not exercising our political rights as American citizens. We are not exercising the rights of our ancestors that was denied. We're not respecting the rights of those who suffered during Jim Crow, and we are not respecting the passing or those that suffer harsh oppression after Jim Crow was supposed to be started. Those that suffered through redlining. We are not respecting those ancestors. You honestly think they wanted to leave here and not leave us something? You honestly think that is the way? That's not the way of natural man. The way we exist right now and the way many of us are living right now are not the way of natural man. We all strive to leave our progeny something. But all that, right, it's like, oh, that's just the way life is. We were just unlucky. You know what I'm saying? God deemed it. So y'all can miss me with that God picked it shit. I'm not on that. You know what I'm saying? If, you know, because he or it could pay reparations too, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? If we want to go that far. You know. So let's go over here. I got something else. So one more. Okay, now another thing is, right now people are losing their goddamn minds because they are getting their tax returns. They're doing their taxes and they're looking at those numbers and that shit don't add up. You know, let me just share with you what's going on. That little extra $20 that you was getting after they signed that bill, that's your tax return. And I'm expecting a lot of people to wake up from this nightmare. Thank you, Great Pumpkin. Let's give a Great Pumpkin a round of applause, because he has done more for the movement than a lot of black people in the last 20 years. Because it's going to be a lot. Consciousness is going to be sprouting out of niggas' ears. They're going to be looking for some type of answers. See, sex ain't coming no more. We got to wake up. What's going on? Man, how am I going to go to the strip club and ball out on my once a year balling out when I can't? But you mean that girl I've been shacking up with all these months ain't gonna get that much money? Damn! Yeah. Shit. Boy. Some of you, ooh. Man, I can't wait. Oh, by the way, for those that have already did their taxes, you know what I'm saying? If you want to call in and talk about it, you know what I'm saying? 614-556-4535. You know what I'm saying? How was your refund? And for those interested, we do have warrior training every other week. We don't have it coming up this weekend, but we got it coming up next weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend, so it's going to be a lot of stuff. And then, of course, we have the mall coming up. But damn, a lot of y'all ain't going to get the money that y'all had, so you might not have enough money. Damn. But you still going to come and shop. Come shop. Come on. And then for the elders, like if y'all need a safe place to walk, while we have this once a month, y'all come up to the building. We got a lot of space. Come on up and walk. Y'all come take a walk through the building and look at all the stuff that's going on around. You know what I'm saying? Spread the word. I'll post it up so that you could go on and get it. Or maybe somebody put it in there while we're doing this. All right. I want to read this quote that I got for you because one of the things that we added to the curriculum is the 48 laws of power. You know what I'm saying? We rolling through that because, you got to get them ready for the real world. It's cool to drill and do all that stuff, but yeah, we're expanding to adding that so that they can start thinking. And this quote right here comes out of the book, and I just want to read this quote for y'all. This is in the preface. The preface of the book. The arrow shot by the archer may or may not kill a single person, but a stratagems devised by a wise man can kill even babies in the womb. Now I'm gonna leave that one so that if y'all want to talk about it, but that's right on the Geometry Journey timeline. The arrow shot by the archer may or may not kill a single person, but stratagems devised by a wise man can kill even babies in the womb. Anna Mae, you better wake up. Alright, the lines are empty. The lines are empty, and I am going, how many gone shop? We are up in line. How many going to shop? I don't know. We about to see. February 23rd, 12 to 6 p.m. And also on that same day, we will be having the movie night so that we can go and attract more people. So you come, you could shop. It could be an all-day event. You come, you can shop, kick it. You know what I'm saying? Come around there. You can network because this is why I call it the market initiative, right? It's the mall, the G&J mall, but market ties it back to what we used to do. Matter of fact, I might need to I'm gonna find another word because I'm quite sure there is a word for market. I'm gonna get an A-way word for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask some of my peoples. You know what I'm saying? So we going through a word on there because the whole piece is passing of information, passing of currency, trading, having discussions, developing relationships, creating a safe space where we can create an economic life. Remember, what is a nation? What is a tribe? What is a family? A stable, historically developed community of people with territory, economic life, distinctive culture, language in common. Territory, economic life. We got to build that. So now, without any further ado, let me make sure I covered everything I want to cover. Without any further ado, since everybody getting no reparations but us, because you can't be talking to them about reparations. How am I supposed to go on my job and be comfortable? Brother, you ain't no brother of mine. You know what I'm saying? Stop being so goddamn comfortable. Have the conversations. You know what I'm saying? Our children are suffering. Suffering. Like succotash. They suffering. You know what I'm saying? And we sitting up here playing respect politics when nobody is respected. How many taxes you get? Oh man, I don't never get nothing anyway, so I'm not shit. We ain't super excited. We get a little nothing. Little or nothing. A little bit of nothing. That's what we get. You know what I'm saying? Shit. So I wasn't expecting a lot anyway. Hopefully we get enough to get a plane ticket so somebody could go to Ghana. You know what I'm saying? So, shit. You know, hey. It is what it is. Alright, so now, lines are open. Let me go and open up the book. For those that don't know, this is Ujamaa Journey Workbook. Travel quotes. It's compiled by Brother Hatem Ujamaa. As you see, this one is well used, abused, marked up, and bent up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, for those that's new to Ujamaa Journey, we've been going through this for you need to check. If you see on the title, we had 1,200 some odd shows just on the Ujamaa piece. Travel Quotes has its own page, but the reason I'm broadcasting on this is because I'm trying to unify all of the people that I have and start adding to that, so the Ujamaa name sticks out above all the other names, so that you can find all of the shows in one place, right? So that's why I'm going to start eliminating some of the streaming platforms that I'm on, because the ones that are not that successful and stuff like that, I do want to make sure that I keep. I don't want to have to let go of streaming on Hatem Ujamaa, but I'm gonna have to. You understand what I'm saying? I have to, because once again, I'm trying to do the tribal thing. I'm trying to do a community thing. We got to have media. We have to have media created by us for us, not by me for me. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to see, hopefully, Cleveland, some of his friends going to start a show. Maybe we get a show with some of the younger sisters, some of the older sisters having talks. Maybe we could have shows where brothers are having real talk between brothers. And you know what I'm saying? And then maybe we could do, because I always want to do a conscious soap opera. I want to do something, you know what I'm saying, where so many creative ways and so many different ways we can use this media without it breaking anybody. I've been listening to 21 Savage a lot. Right now, also, please let me know, because one of the first questions that went out when 21 Savage was arrested and is about to be deported. Where are all of these people who are screaming about about the borders violating people's rights, about the wrongness of people being deported? We got this black British dude that's about to be deported. Who is running to his aid? I want to know, because we need to publicize that. See, because if no one is running to the aid, what that show you once again is, as Dr. John Henry Clark says, we have no allies. We in the game by ourselves. And once we really start facing the reality, because family, the issue is we don't have individual people that don't want to help us. That is, I got family members that don't look like me, that don't have the same complexion as me, that don't have the same hair as me, right? That come from a whole different group of people. I have family members like that, people that I love like that. But I have to speak up for black folks, because on a holistic level as a people, we are so fractured and so looking for love. We like a damaged young lady out here running to every thug and no good motherfucker that she could find and getting slapped, and but they love me. It's my fault. It's something that I did, and we got to stop that shit. It's making us look bad, right? And it's bringing the worst out of everybody. So now, instead of the politics being like, when we take care of all Americans, we automatically take care of black people. No, I want to reverse this shit. I want, when you take care of black people, you automatically, everybody else is going to benefit. That's bottom line. That's how it rolls. When you take care of us, everybody else is going to be all right. This country ain't going to get right until you do right by us. You're going to do right by us. Putting it on you, America. Putting it on you. Right? Yeah, but Quasi said he been listening to 21 Savage. So let me know what that means. I have never I never heard the young dude. So let me know what that means. All right, so day 59. Damn, I've been ranting for half an hour. Damn. Time flies when you're having fun. All right. Try not to become a man of success, but rather to become a man of value. A child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark. Every time an elder dies, it is as if a library has burnt down. I'm going to start over. I didn't read who wrote them. Try not to become a man of success, but rather to become a man of value. That's from Albert Einstein. A child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark. Chinese proverb. Every time an elder dies, it is as if a library has burnt down. That's West Africa. All right. So, Quasi, if you still listening in, I'm going back to my Hootsuite because all of the stuff that I'm posting that you might be posting is not posting up. Can you give me a number, or anybody out there, give me a number between 1 and 3 so that we go and get this kicking off.
This call is being recorded.
Y'all know already, brother, I tell him to do it by itself. Somebody on the line. Who on the line?
It's crazy. I'm still in the hookah. Is the music in the background loud?
Yeah, it's cool. No, not really. Not really. Yeah, we can hear it now. But give me a number between 1 and 3. Give me a number between 1 and 3. And just chime in when you're ready.
You said 1, 2, or 3?
Yep.
Say the first one again?
Albert Einstein. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value.
I like number 2, the one about the elders.
No, that's number 3. A child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark. That's number 2. And number 3, every time an elder dies, it is as if a library has burnt down. So you want that? You want to start with 3?
Yeah, I like 3. They all go hand in hand. They all go. They all. You can't have one without the other.
That's right. Somebody else is just tuned in. Who is it?
Lady J.
I hope you heard the proverbs already, or do I got to read them all over again?
Can I tell you what I've been up to?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
That I did.
You better not start no shit.
Tonight, I'm sorry?
You heard me. You better not start no shit. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Hold on. Let me get my, no, this is not starting any, and I know you're going to get on me about what I'm going to say, but it's okay. I'm not starting nothing, though. 2 seconds. I'm getting my headphones out. So tonight, last year I had, you hear my grandbaby in the background?
Yeah, I do. What's up? What's his name?
Her name is Mila.
Neela? What's up?
Mila, M-I-L-A, Mila.
What's up, Mila? How you doing?
Mila? Oh, hold on, let me, so she can hear you. Hold on, I feel.
What's up, Miss Mila? How you doing?
You hear him? Say it, hi, Tim.
What's up, Miss Mila? How you doing today? Huh?
Hi. I'm just looking at the phone, hi, Tim.
Oh, that's what they do. We also got brother, Lady J, go on finish your story, but we also got Shaka on the line.
Right, so tonight, I think I'll share with you guys that I teach ESL. My students come from all parts of the world. And one thing that I struggle with, or something that I've been being purposeful about, is making them feel comfortable in their skin, not feeling like, though I am immersing them in some English and, they're learning the American culture, but also making sure that they hold on to their own culture and individuality, and that they celebrate that. So tonight we put on an event we call ESL Family Night. We invite our parents out. We have a host of resources for them. So we have some immigration attorney in the building. We had immigration services in the building, translators, charity newsies, lots of different resources for them. And then we had a talent show. Because of the situation that 6 people have ruined it, I can't post any pictures, but I will say that I had probably 13 students who showed up. Well, I had many students who showed up, but I had about 13, probably more than that actually showed up and modeled their authentic clothing from their culture. Okay. So we had Ghana represented tonight. We had Ethiopia. We had Mexico, Nepal, Nigeria, and it was just a beautiful thing. Last year we served Pali food, but this year we served African food that was given to us by us, donated to us by an African restaurant. It was a huge success. And again, just watching, I told you I have a problem because I watch my kids try to fit into the mold of other people. And I watch them try to attach themselves to their culture and heritage quickly when they get, to our building, trying to fit in with the Gen Ed kids. But here, giving them an opportunity to celebrate that. Also watching my white coworkers wear African clothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so today my coworker called me. She knows I wear cowboy boots 4 times out the week, and she says, I'm going to represent my culture tomorrow. I'm going to wear some, my cowboy boots. Will you join me? Well, my answer was no, because I was in my African garb all day long. But what she did was later on, one of our Somali families, she sends us dresses, and watching my white coworkers model and put on, put on for the culture was just a beautiful thing. So I'm like late on 10, 11, 12, and 13, just happy that I'm able to celebrate with my family and give our students the shot. We only had one boy that participated, but when I tell you he was from Ghana and he was sharper than a nail, he was sharp, Hakim, sharp from top to bottom. So giving them that avenue and celebrating their diversity, I'm just happy I can be a part of that.
Okay.
But that's what I'm on.
All right. Brother Shaka, you got something you want to share? You've been coming on and ain't been able to get a word in edgewise for the last couple of days, man. What's going on?
Me?
Yes, sir. How you doing today?
I'm good. I've been tired, man. I've been tired the last couple of days. This week been pretty intense, so yeah. I'm just loving life right now, Getting in my car. It's probably kind of loud. Should get a little quieter now.
Okay.
But actually, let me start my car. All the little dinging and all that stuff about to happen. So I'm going to go back on hold for a couple more minutes.
All right. Shaka, how you been doing, my friend?
Brother, I'm wonderful right now. I'm stuffing my face. Stuffing your face is always good during recessive times. You understand what I mean?
I feel you.
So at this very moment, I'm enjoying some nice big plump chicken thighs that I know ain't all the way real, but sometimes you got to pretend that things ain't what they is just to remain sane.
Just to remain sane. Sometimes you got to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
The hustle builds muscle, my friend. So, all right, so now we're going to get into this proverb. Quasi said he wanted to start with number 3. So I'll read number 3, and we'll start with that one, even though that's probably the best one. We're going to start with it. Here we go.
I will start with number 1 then.
No, homie. That ain't no... Start your car coming back on and changing your mind.
Hey, real quick, I do need to give a shout out to Allende, who showed up and did my drum call tonight, as he is the Bob.com. So, Melvin just said Allende hard.
Okay.
Allende showed up. This is his second year attending and supporting me and my initiative, what I do. And I don't know if he's listening tonight, but every Thursday I will be over at Britnell Rec Center doing African dance.
Britnell Rec Center every Thursday.
Every Thursday they got African dance over there, correct?
She says she will be. She will be.
Yeah, I wasn't there tonight because I had my own cultural night at my school, but Allende joined me, and I have some students and I have some former dancers who were my students in the past, and that's where we'll be doing African dance at on Thursday evenings with Rec Center, if I'm not mistaken.
I do my after-school program. Well, I participate with the after-school program over there. I leave at 6:30, so when I was leaving out, I saw him setting up, and I spoke to, I can't remember the lady's name. I'm working on my name and remember it. But she said Allende was going to be there.
Ms. Maya
Yeah, Allende came. He was down the street with me on Sunbury at my school he did our drum call. So he started
crazy lady.
Started off.
It seemed like the energies is bringing us in close quarters for whatever reason.
Yeah, so I'll be over there, me and one of my students, and maybe my daughter. She usually drums, but I'm trying to get her into dance.
She can dance.
We'll be over there on Thursday. Huh?
She can dance, but all right, we're going to...
She can dance, but for whatever reason, she won't dance. I don't know what's wrong with her. But I'm ready for the folktale. Or the proverb.
Hold on. Woo! Just drunk some old ambrosia. Hot damn. Woo! Okay, here we go. Every time an elder dies, it is as if a library has burnt down. West Africa. Anybody? Y'all gonna be silent on that one?
It is as if what?
A library has burnt down.
Okay.
Every time an elder dies, it is if a library has burnt down. Come on now.
Who want to tackle it?
Who you want to tackle it? Me?
Oh, hey, Hot Tim.
That was you, Lady J? I know that wasn't you.
That wasn't me, but it's self-explanatory.
Yeah,
that was
but
kind
still,
of self-explanatory.
See now, but this is what we assume that everybody sees it the way that we see it. It's not. See, because it might be some Jews in it. This is why it's called wisdom minded. Don't be scared to get your shovel out and start doing some digging. Hashtag wisdom minded. We got to get deep into this one. Every time an elder dies, I want you to think about some of the elders in our community. And the way a lot of our elders are isolated and nobody's talking to them, nobody's getting that information from them about our time here. Now, we got elders that's been reading books for a long time. We got elders that's been gardening for a very long time. I got an elder in my life who told me about this stuff called, y'all ready for a listen? Black collard greens. I said, what? He said they're black collard greens. They're hard to grow. In the rows and stuff. They're more wild. So you got to go out into I got to take you out to places where I can show you where black collard greens grow. They're good for you and they're good taste. I said, I never heard of no black collard greens. I said, damn, that would be something good. Let me go and find some of this shit. Right? But the point I'm trying to say is I would have never heard about that if I didn't sit down and talk with an elder. So when an elder dies, the wisdom and the knowledge goes with him, and this is why it's important for us to sit at their feet and make sure that we getting some of that stuff. And a lot of our elders in our community presently now, because we don't have time, they keep us so busy. We ain't got time to talk with some of the elders about some of their experiences, and we're losing volumes and volumes of stories and tales and folk tales because we don't know what some of these elders been through. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said,
go ahead. this one brings me back to Marcus Garvey, because a lot of the information that I read about him, because his wife took, she cleaned up the house and organized all his thoughts and had them published. So you imagine what the world wouldn't know about Garvey if she hadn't done that.
Wow. Good point. You know what I'm saying? Getting that information, talking, writing, we got all these devices that we could be talking, and if they don't want to tape, you just remember some of the stuff so that you could pass it on. Because we are generational people. We pass information from mouth to ear. You know what I'm saying? This whole writing shit down, that shit is cool. But we need to be able to communicate and touch and feel and really enjoy somebody's presence and get the history. Because we don't got it all. We really need to see how some of our people were living 60 years ago, 30 years ago. Some of them could tell you how they was living 80 years ago. And we missing all of that. And because we're missing all of that...
you know what I think, too?
Let me finish. And because we're missing all of that, we are children that have no perspective about where we come from and where we are. They think it's always been like this. They run around here in a trap and don't even know they're in a goddamn trap. You in the den of the beast and don't even know it. Running around here loud and shit.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what Lady J said, that it's kind of self-explanatory, and I kind of agree. Like some of the proverbs be a little like you kind of gotta dissect it to get the meaning out of it. The meaning is very evident, so like it's not just like extrapolating the meaning from it. It's also like applying it, finding the application of it. You know what I'm saying? So this one is more application heavy. You know what I mean?
More application heavy.
Because, like, my great-grandfather died, he was 92 or 3, and he died in, like, 2015. And I learned so much about him that I didn't even know. Like, at his funeral, he got a 22-gun salute. You know what I mean? He was like a real-life war hero. He had medals. He was in a Negro League. He did all this amazing stuff that I had no idea. And I lived with him.
Shut up! Stop lying.
And I was out here chasing money and chasing women at the time. I was like 20. From the time I was like 20 to 24, I lived with him. And we would sit down and chop it up, but he was a pretty unassuming, just kind of laid back kind of dude, you know what I mean? So he wasn't about to sit up here and be like, come here, you young whippersnapper, let me tell you, let me land you something. He wasn't that type of dude, you know what I mean? But if you ask him, he was real open. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's what
like library burning. When I thought about like the library burning down, like that's the thing. But the thing of it is to like complete that metaphor, we gotta get the books out before it burns.
Ooh, gotta get the books out. See, that's what I'm talking about.
See, that's what I was going in at. Is that like 20 years ago? I could walk into any random barbershop and say, way down in the jungle deep.
A lion stepped on the sanctified monkey's feet. Now, was it sanctified monkey? What is it?
Yes. Now, dig it. 20 years ago, we would have been sure that whole passage, that whole story would have been told in one sitting. Because the barbershop is where oral tradition is passed down. We don't eat together at the dinner table no more. That's where the old tradition used to be passed down. So you look at the young cats that know these stories and know these rhymes right now, where do they get it from? If not the barbershop, from jail. That's where they get passed down now.
Ooh.
So
but even with the barbershop, though, like with the barbershop, I think it's a double-edged sword because as we are, I think part of it is culture and fad, but a lot of it is people embracing they hair. And I ain't been to a barbershop, and I've been to the barbershop twice in the past 15, 20. I've been to the barbershop probably twice in the past 20 years. You know what I mean? So that's not even like I go to the. When I get my hair done, it's by a woman.
I can speak on this.
Well, hit it.
Okay, so I agree with what I can feel what Shaka just said. I often say I wear my hair cut, right? I've been going to the same barber shop for, my son is 23, so I've been going to the same barber shop for the most part for 22 years. And there's a variety of reasons I go there, not just for the barbers, but for the patrons as well and the conversation that takes place. But initially it wasn't for me. It was for my boys who I raised on my own. And making sure that they were, even if I was raising them alone, that they were in contact with men who I could say at the end of the day when we leave, that's an example of a man. That's an example of a man. Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he didn't say? Did you hear what he pardoned? So I do think that, one of my reasons I keep my hair cut short, and I don't mind this because my conversation at the barbershop, the experience that my young son gets at the barbershop is something that is rewarding, fulfilling, and necessary, especially because, my father's deceased, my grandfather's deceased, and my biological father doesn't live here. So they don't get the luxury that I get of hearing from him and, having him fill their cup. So I definitely hear and agree with Shaka. But one thing I did want to say initially when I heard the proverb, before I could hear what you said, it's like a library burn. I was under the impression that we were going to go with what we gained when we gain an ancestor. And though, we do lose that opportunity to hear about our past, right, and so that we can better understand our present, I think that there is also not a benefit, but there's a blessing that comes when our ancestor is gone, and that blessing for me is you gain a guardian ancestor. But someone who watches over you and provides you with that guidance, provides you with that voice, that all-knowing, omnipresent, energy.
Now, but I'm gonna say this: part of the culture is passed on from mouth to ear, and what if that's not passed on? I mean, because really, this whole libation thing, for a majority of us, was not passed on. We ran into it, not necessarily even in our families, but in extended families of individuals who was doing the research. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like what traditions from our personal family are we losing when we let these elders die alone? Because we're too.
You know what else?
Go ahead.
What else comes to mind, man, is that our friend Eddie Bayard is actually in a movie about Miles Davis with Don Cheadle called Miles Ahead.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
Who he play?
Man, you gotta watch the movie.
Man, is Eddie in the movie or Eddie in the movie?
Eddie is in the movie. When I sat down in the movie, in the first 15 minutes, I was like, hold on a second. That sax player is my sax player. And people in the movie theater looked at me like,
there you go.
All right.
There you go. You might as well say, way down in the jungle deep. The lion stepped on the sanctified monkey feet. And the monkey said, motherfucker, can't you see that you standing on my goddamn feet? Go ahead.
So dig this. When the conversation came up about Miles Davis, of course, this is a movie about Miles Davis, but it's not about Miles Davis's life. It's like if you understand the jazz culture and you understand the art of storytelling, especially if you're going to tell a story about you and Miles. Like, if you sit down with Eddie long enough, Eddie got stories about every great that he's ever blessed the stage with, right? And a lot of his stories, Hatem, are passed down from the lips of those who lived it. So when you talk about jazz legends, Eddie Bayard has been on stage. Like, jazz legends call Eddie Bayard when they come into Columbus, Ohio, because they know he's bringing people and he's going to bring the vibration they need. So the piece is that when you tell a Miles Davis story, that's all it's ever going to be, because Miles was such an extreme individual. To try to embody his entire life in one film is impossible. So when you tell a cool-ass Miles story, that's exactly what Miles Ahead is. It's a cool-ass story about Miles. And everybody going to have a cool-ass story about Miles. And so I'm saying all of this because you look at all the cool-ass stories other people got about Miles and the events that he had taken, and then you listen from his own lips the stories that he has, the narrative that he owns. You understand? When that person dies, especially as a messenger, the loneliest place for a messenger is misunderstood. And when people continue to tell stories about you as in your own complexity, not just trying to sum you up in a flat story just to say, I knew Miles. Then that's big. And if you imagine, like, everybody who you around right now, who you around so much that they start telling you a story, and you're like, oh, yeah, you told me this one already.
Now, hold on. Did I ever tell y'all my Miles Davis story?
No.
You ain't. I did. You was a musician. I know I had to sit down and tell you my Miles Davis story.
Somebody called you Miles Davis?
No. Seriously. I was walking down the street, and I stepped on this dude's foot. He said, motherfucker, can't you see? I'm standing on my goddamn feet. I guess you the only one that got that, Shaq. I'm going to leave it alone, man. But, hey, all right, so I put up there links so that y'all can support the journey, help us out with, you know what I'm saying, when you can or whatever. But now, so let's move on to the next proverb, because I just want to make sure that people know. Because, like Quasi said, this one is application heavy. This ain't, because these proverbs, I don't just want y'all just dropping them in a circle, saving them for a time when we sitting in a circle pouring libations and you trying to out quote somebody else and shit, right? Because you know how we get sometime. I got the quotes this year. No, we want the application. Find you an elder, man. Find you an elder. See, because in a minute, you're going to have to legitimize who the fuck you are to certain organizations, because I'm telling y'all, reparations is about to become a real part of conversations politically all over this country, and we are going to need to know who is with us and who is against us. So we're gonna have to be doing some lineage checks. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, nigga. Your lineage leads straight to the CIA. I ain't got shit to do with you, right? All right. So the next one, Lady J, one or two. Come on, ladies first. Lady J, what's up? One or two?
One.
Here we go. Try not to become a man of success, but rather to become a man of value. Albert Einstein. I'll read it again. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. Oh, we got an unknown caller up. Unknown caller.
Don't worry about that unknown caller. Don't worry.
You know, that reminded me of a meme that I saw on a woman's page, and I'm going to misquote it like a mug, but I swear, in the 16 seconds that I read it, it made a lot of sense to me, and I hate that I'm about to butcher it, but oh well. It says something like, just because you know your worth doesn't mean they will value you.
Try not to become a man of success, but rather to become a man of value. Unknown caller, who is that? All right, they just called in to listen. All right, now, check this out. We can do this one, or I got a bonus. I think y'all might want to.
I do want to comment on this.
Well, hit it.
And this has been relevant for me for this past week. With dealing with the fact that I constantly put myself in the search. I need to read this book, Law of Power, so that I can get my bosses off my back. But
wait, time out. We're starting that at the Warriors training, and you know we meet every other week. But you go on and struggle with it by yourself if you want.
All right. And so one thing that I heard at church, one Sunday, probably about a year and a half ago. We had a visit our prophet, and he said that, there's two sides of greatness. It's not your success, but when you can put someone else in a position of greatness, of success, it's not about you being great. It's not about you being a leader. It's about when you yourself can put someone else in the position to be a leader or to be great. And so I believe that gets at our values. Is it about us or is it about others? Is it about us or is it about legacy? Is it about us or is it about, basically the end result, right? The goal, the objective. And so that's what that made me think about, not to mention success. How do we measure success? Success for me, because according to you, Tim, I may or may not be successful, but in my eyes, I am, right? So that's a whole nother layer. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So if we're always chasing after this ambiguous term we call success, we're going to have some issues, right? But if we ground ourselves in our values, if we ground ourselves in our morals, if we ground ourselves in those things in which our ancestors, those lessons in which our ancestors have provided for us, it tells us what we should and what we should not do, and then we are well grounded. But that whole idea of success again is ambiguous.
Right.
Well, help me put this together, because I'm trying to understand, because I feel like they're both parts of the same intersecting plane. For example, I think that being a man of success, in the state of success, and understanding that success is a process and it's a behavior, going about the process, step by step, and, it's a process. Now, to me, value is a product of that process. So how do we...
But success is different for all people. If what I may believe is success,
right? Other people
may be different for you. You may think you're successful, but then in my eyes, I might think you ain't shit. So success, that's why I say it's ambiguous. It's not concrete.
And so I remember my last words to this individual that I was dealing with. I knew her not to be of a loyal individual and or whatnot. And I asked her one plain question, and that is, what do you bring of equitable value to my existence?
Oh shit! I remember this story, Shaka. I'm going to caution you. I don't know if I want to hear it again.
So, but the piece is that she didn't have a good answer. You understand?
Right.
So the piece for me, it's a thing of. It wasn't a thing of do I value you or not. It's what process do you bring into my existence,
or what product, or what benefit, value. Because the term value, it says try not to become a man of success, because that's about you. I believe it's, you know what I'm saying, that's personal. Like shit, it's open up for interpret, but rather become a man of value, because like I said, a man of value can be used by others. Something of value is something that is able to be used by others. Because one of the things we have to, like, for example, even with some of our elders, you know what I'm saying, when they be like, you know, you better respect me as an elder, be like, cool, you know, I want to respect you. I really want to show you the respect you deserve. But how many young people you put on in your time? You know what I'm saying? What value were you to people's lives? You know what I'm saying? Because we got people that never benefited anybody but themselves and immediate people around them, like family. You know what I'm saying? One of the questions we need to start asking is, what value have you brought to the people? What value have you brought to your tribe? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, because that becoming a person of value, it's better than success. Because one, if you are a person of value, then that means that things are going to come your way. You understand what I'm saying? Success is like, in my mind, I could be successful.
Now, and then here's the other piece to that, Hot Tim, because we've been in situations. Listen, I'm gonna just jump right into it. What do you say when you bring somebody into your household and you basically ask them, so, you know, what do you bring to the table? And they like, listen, I can cook, I can clean, and then like $60 worth of groceries later, you realize that they can't cook worse.
Right now, hold on.
They really ain't about the cleaning thing for real. Not that they can't do it. That's just not.
Can I bring up something real quick? I am a fan of Nigerian movies, and not the naughty Nigerian movies. There's this this series that I watched called Native. Is it called Native Girl, Miley? Native Girl. And so in Native Girl, you have this well-learned.
Is it soap opera?
Kind of, maybe. No, it's a series, though.
It's a they do movies. They'll do movies in a series. You know what I'm saying? So you get one movie, and if they make money off of that movie, they'll bring out a part 2.
Yeah, okay. And so in Native Girl, this guy is well learned. He is Nigerian from whatever tribe, I can't remember. He's well learned. He's traveled to about 7 different countries, which he reminds us throughout the series. His mother has chosen him a wife. His mother chooses him a wife from the village. This wife that she chooses is beautiful. She has a banging body. She's beautiful, and she's the best cook in the tribe, amongst the tribe. So good of a cook that people come from far and near to try her food, right? So the mom goes ahead and takes care of it. So now the son is married to this native girl. Well, when the son meets her, she is unpolished. So he cannot stand her. And he, too, asks her the question, like, what do you bring? What do you have? And she tells him, like, shoot, I can cook, I can sew, I can clean, I can this, I can that. But because she doesn't speak English, and because she is truly native in her appearances, And also in her, because he wants her to wear a wig, right? He goes out and buys her all these wigs. But anyways, at the end of the day, he has to learn that speaking English, being educated is not what really he needed, right? Or what really defined this woman, or what made her. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he was begging her by the end. He was begging her by the end because what she brought to the table, what she contributed, was something more valuable than what the woman who could speak English or what the woman who had went to school, what she could bring. You know what I'm saying? What she brought was, I don't know. She brought things that could be valued. She brought
an ability to actually run a home, while another individual only brought the ability to possibly help think through a problem. Which one? One of them you could sleep with for a night and then have to go somewhere else to get cleaned up. The other one you could sleep with and wake up and shit is done and your life is still straight. One was a wife, one was... Now going back to Shaka's piece, success is a lot of times in the mind. So the person can actually think they can cook. They might have had a few successes at cooking, but they are not. That is not where their value lie. So when they cook for other people, it's not really that. Yeah, I could have did this ramen noodles with hot sauce. Everybody love my ramen noodles with hot sauce. Nigga, this is not valuable. You need to go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? You wasting our food. I hear you. I mean, I just wanted to go back to that. Let's do number 3 because let's do the third proverb. The last one is, a child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark. A child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark. Oh, man, don't tell me y'all ain't got it. Is that one self-explanatory?
You said a person's life.
I said a child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark.
All right, I'll take that one.
Well, hit it. What you waiting for? You want a drum roll?
Go ahead, Lady J. Some people ask me, or they're disturbed. They don't understand why I choose to teach middle school versus elementary versus high school. The reason why I won't teach elementary is definitely different from the reason I won't teach high school. But what I do believe is that a child is most impressionable. A child is most impressionable. So you can, in that sense, what you say, what you do impacts that child to the point that when they are young adult, when they do become high school age, you have made that impression. You have made that mark on them that further cultivates who they become as young adults and as adults. I think that the mistake that we make is when we don't understand that it is a mark. It's just because we are saying things and doing things don't mean that these children are going to act on them today, not even tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to act on them because, again, the mark has left an impact. Real quick, I have a student that I taught many years ago, and I introduced to African dance, right? And so she was one of my premier dancers for 2-3 years, right? She was just naturally, for me, gifted, right? But not even more so having the ability to immerse her like in the culture per se or in the history, but just she was a dancer. But she moved away, I tell her, and now she returned. And something that I found very interesting is now she stalks me, which is the reason why I will be over at Rex Center starting next week dancing from 6 to 8 with the kids and with the adults, right? Because she has propelled me into that. I left a mark on her, right? That left her yearning and wanting for more. And so to the point where she seeks me out, right? And she's in high school now. She's older. She's much older. But that's a great thing. Again, the children are impressionable. They don't know what the hell they want. They don't know who the hell they are. You know what I'm saying? It's our job to open up and give them those ideas. Now, I don't fool with high school because by that time they're already cemented and grounded.
Well,
you know
we hope.
Elementary is too young. They brain rapid for me. Middle school is just right? Middle school is just right. But that is my example where I feel like, you know, we have to remember that. And I remember myself. I remember the things that my big sisters and those people who took apart and raised me, the things that they said. I used to wonder, you know, that I knew I could see their frustration with the fact that they would tell me something, and then the next day and 2 days later, I wasn't doing what they told me to do. But I tell you this much: 5-6 years later, those lessons came right out of my repertoire. They came right out of my file cabinet, right? And I was able to connect the dots. You know, it was right there. It was that mark. And we should focus on that mark. We should not just think that this generation is lost, or these kids are this and these kids are that, or when we speak to them, they don't react. We have to know that we are leaving a mark. We are leaving a mark.
Okay. Now, here's a bonus one, then we're about to get off of here. I said it earlier, if you was listening. The arrow shot by the archer may or may not kill a single person, but stratagems devised by a wise man could kill even babies in the womb.
Say that last part again.
But stratagems devised by a wise man could kill even babies in the womb. Man, y'all sound like my middle school class. Come on now.
I'm gonna say it like this, okay? I'm gonna say it like this because it go all the way back to Harlem Nights when my man here said, you know, you got a gun, everybody got a gun. You kill me, then you know, and then whoa, a whole bunch of people just getting shot one by one. But thing is that it wasn't and then what Eddie Murphy say is like it's not how many people you kill, it's who you kill, right? And so and that even without pressing a trigger, if you can change the mind to cause people to behave in a certain way, and you can anticipate a certain thing that you're going to make them do, well, of course, you cause them to press their own trigger, you know, and that's what's happening today. It's a lot of babies being killed in the womb because of what it is that the mamas are caused to eat. Or, you know, maybe even if it's not that type of diet, whatever she ingests, whatever behaviors come around with that.
All right, family, I want to thank y'all for joining us once again in the place where you know your hustle builds muscle. This is the Congregation of Mighty, and we are Ujamaa Journey Media. This is the Art of a Simple production, and we have just done and slain day 59. I will see you next week on day 60. Family, remember the conversation's not over. You can feel free to comment. You can leave videos. You can do whatever you want. We need to build on these and start using these as weapons. Make them active. Make them work. And, of course, you know, we strive to blow up your old paradigms. And Brother Hatim is out. Uh-oh, I really messed up.